Hi, I'm Martin Kemp. This is my party, and I will have a £5 food budget if I want.
Hello, I'm Catherine Bohart, and welcome to It's My Party, where we are celebrating Comic Relief's 40th birthday in the best way possible by planning a massive party. As always, I'm here in my role as the perfect party planner, and so I'm going to be sitting down with a brilliant guest, getting to know them and their party needs so that I can help them plan their perfect do. This week I'm joined by the musician and actor Martin Kemp. Martin was of course the bassist in Spandau Ballet and played Steve Owen in Eastenders, but these days he hosts the mixtape on Greatest Hits Radio and has appeared on shows including Would I Lie to You, Murder in Successville and The Kemps. He also co-hosts the show FFS, My Dad is Martin Kemp, which sees him and his son Roman exploring their father-son relationship. Martin, thank you for coming on It's My Party. It's wonderful to have you here.
My pleasure.
What have you been up to?
I'm up to a little bit of everything.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, I do these DJ shows that go up and down the country every weekend called Back to the 80s.
Nice.
That I've been doing probably for the last 5 years. And we do about 130 shows a year.
Do you?
So, which started out as like a side little hustle.
Okay.
And has become the main hustle.
130 shows. Yeah, I'd want it to be not the side project. That's
But it
incredibly
is
impressive.
the most euphoric thing that I have ever done in my life.
Really? What does the night look like if you're going?
As you go, it's like 1,000 to 1,500 people that are of a similar age.
Yes.
That's
very diplomatic of you, Martin.
Well, of a similar age.
Yes,
that sing and know every single word to every single song that I play. And it is the most incredible atmosphere I've ever experienced in my life.
That sounds like heaven.
It
That
is
sounds like
heaven.
Wow.
Honestly, sometimes I close my eyes and I listen to 1,500 people sing A Little Respect, Erasure.
Yes.
And it is wonderful. Wonderful.
What a gorgeous way to spend your weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my goodness me. But presumably it's like full on. Do you ever just zone out? Do you ever have a think about anything else while you DJ, or are you always in the moment?
No, always in a moment. Absolutely, always in a moment. Because I don't just DJ, I sing along, and we you get a kind of rapport. I grew up in Spandau, didn't I? Spandau Ballet, so I know how those shows work, and it's not just a one-way thing that the entertainment or the act on stage puts out and then the audience enjoys.
Yeah.
It's a two-way thing where the
conversation.
audience and the act have to work together to make a great
so nice.
evening. And
I feel
that's
the same way
what we
about
do.
stand-up. I feel like when you do comedy, like people are often like, the act was crap, but you're like, or the audience was crap, but you're like, no, if you're not both present and giving each other like lots of energy,
You've got to both be there.
Yeah. So Martin, let's start by chatting about your relationship with parties. Evidently you do them for work, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's about other people. But how do you feel about getting invited to them? Do you want to go when you get an invite?
These days now, I feel like I have done my partying.
Do you? Are you done?
I just feel like, my life was all about parties when I was in Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
When I was a young man, below the age of, let's say, 35, my life was one
you've wounded
big
me. You've wounded
party.
me. This 36-year-old woman is beyond her prime.
No, but-
devastating. Couldn't have picked a more devastating age.
I think I was just burnt out.
Yeah.
I think, when people ask me to a party now, I say yes. And I say, yeah, that'd be great. I'll see you there. And then it gets to about 8 o'clock and I'm meant to be going at 8:30. And I'll go to Shirley. You know what? Maybe I'll go to bed.
Do you have a headache? I think I have a headache. Okay, so you say yes, but you mean no. Good to know. Wow.
Yeah, but it's true. I did so much of it when I was a kid because if you
got it out of your
imagine
system.
Spandau Ballet, right?
Yeah.
Every single time we played a gig, every night there was an after show party. Every single night.
Yikes,
Right,
yeah.
to the point where, we were even got into the old Elvis era, right, where
Eating burgers on toilets.
well, you get into the old Elvis thing where you hire the whole floor of a hotel and nobody else on it apart from your rooms and the party room at the end.
Yeah, to be fair, Martin, the old barbecue down the road's not really going to compete with that, is it?
No,
I do hear you.
So it was big time,
Yeah.
and so I think I got to 35 after the band had finished, and I just felt like maybe I've run my course.
A little bit of quiet time.
Yeah.
Okay, well, the bar is set high if we're going to get you out the door. What's the best party you've ever been to?
Best party I've ever been to probably it goes between a few, I would say.
You can give me a top three.
Yeah, I would go one. There was a Queen party. A party with not the Queen not Queen Elizabeth.
Can you imagine if you said that to me? I'd be like,
no, it was
right.
Queen, like the band.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
On the Queen Mary.
What?
In Los Angeles, and there was a party on board there, which was absolutely amazing.
You went
can
to
imagine.
Queen's boat party on the Queen Mary in
yeah,
LA.
You know.
Okay, Martin, it's going to be tough to organise a party for you that's better than
that.
that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah, and I remember everybody's got Ibiza stories, you know, and first time I ever went to Ibiza, and you know Manumission.
No.
Manumission was probably at the time the biggest club in the world. And it was first open air club in the world.
Whoa.
But before it was called Manumission, it was called Coup Club.
Okay.
And so it's the first time I went there, and I was with the band. Freddie Mercury was singing with Montserrat Caballé, doing Barcelona.
Oh my God.
And
do you have any parties without Freddie Mercury, or were they you guys?
No, he's just enjoys turn up.
What was he like?
He was all right.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Wow, what a beautifully solid review. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, so anywhere that there's an open air or a boat and Freddie Mercury's there, you're willing to party. That's exciting.
But this Coup Club decided that when it was packed solid, they decided, and everybody's the worse for wear, you can imagine.
I can.
Right? This is Ibiza.
I've been to Ibiza,
And,
I've never seen anybody particularly
and
dry or sober.
the club decided to release a bull.
What?
A baby bull. Horns.
You're saying bull, not ball. Okay.
Not a beach ball.
I thought you said they said that a little football.
Not
and
a
everyone
beach ball.
A bull.
A bull.
A male.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes, he was running around the edge of this open swimming pool.
Oh my
and,
God.
And they released this animal that was chasing everyone. And for me to get away, I had to climb this kind of like scaffolding that was left in the corner, and because I'm looking down at my clothes, and I was wearing this kind of red Robin Hood outfit. It was kind of
you
like
need to protect the outfit.
Well, the early days of New Romantic, it was.
Wait,
it was a bit
Martin
of a dress
Kemp,
up.
this is wow. What a time to be alive! The 80s, where animal cruelty was not considered. They're like, yeah, we'll just send a bull out to it, but what the hell?
And it ended up in the swimming pool, and had to drag it out. And,
oh, the poor bull.
Yeah.
Well, and you're wearing red, so ultimately the night.
Poor Martin.
Well, I don't know, man. I think I'm on the bull's side.
Yeah, I was petrified.
Well, you were wearing red. Yeah, I do see that now.
Yeah,
it sounds like a cool outfit, but terrifying. I guess you're not expecting a bull at the party.
But it was that was a good one.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow, even with the high stakes. Wow, fantastic. No wonder you were exhausted by 35. You've been chased by wild animals at parties while Freddie Mercury sang Barcelona.
Yeah.
It'll take it out of a man. Okay, great. So what about now? How do you feel about planning a party?
If I was going to plan a party now, I would go home and I would say to Shirley, my wife, Shirl, will you plan a party?
Fuck's sake, Martin.
I would. I'm only being honest.
No, and do you know what?
I'm just being honest.
I respect your honesty.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Shirley in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, Shirley is like the tour manager
is she?
of the
She love it.
Martin and Shirley Kemp house. She is the
nice.
tour manager.
I love that you need that reference point. It's like, who's in charge? The tour manager.
I can't live my life without a tour manager.
Good, I hope she's taking 20% of it, all the work she's doing. Good
well,
for her.
she takes a lot more than that.
Good
Let
for
me
her.
tell you that.
Good for her. Okay, great. Wow, Shirley sounds wonderful. Well, I should have had her on. But nonetheless, here I am in her place to help you organise this party.
Yeah.
So, dream scenario.
Yeah.
You've had a lot of great parties, but dream scenario, what's the venue?
All right, venue.
You can pick anywhere.
Best venue that I think we have in London has to be the Royal Albert Hall.
Oh my God, it's no small place. I love it as a choice.
In the middle of Albert Hall is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I've played in so many stadiums around the world and open air venues, Roman amphitheatres, but the Royal Albert Hall is the special one.
Wow.
And I think I would go there for your
Shirley
party.
and I better get a good spread for the Royal Albert Hall. Wow, fantastic. I
You
love
better
it.
start saving up as
Yes.
well, should be.
Yes, we'll figure out the money after. That's grand. She'll do the numbers. That's grand. Okay, so would you have if you were throwing a party now, what is there an event or a theme that you'd like to throw one for? Do you have any?
I think the theme has to be rock bands that we have lost.
Oh my gosh, I love this.
Yeah.
So okay, ages of rock kind of. Okay,
Ages of rock.
rock bands we've lost. I like it.
So
Is that your favorite kind of music to listen
yeah,
to?
because I am huge 70s fan of rock.
great.
Like 71, 72, 73 is probably, I think,
Thank
the
you
best
for
time
clarifying.
in music ever.
Really?
Yeah, I love, if I was going to pull out a couple of albums, I would pull out The Who, I would pull out Humble Pie,
Okay.
Steve Marriott, Humble Pie.
And I'll Google all of them later.
Yeah.
I can't
Steve
wait.
Marriott, Humble Pie. Humble Pie was probably the best rock band ever. And because it was this beautiful mix of rock and soul. So
gorgeous.
it was the first, it was the heaviest rock. It was kind of like Led Zeppelin, but they would have girls singing in the background and doing their gospel. And
Really?
it was absolutely fantastic. And we lost him a little while ago, Steve Marriott. Which I was gutted.
Maybe we should call the party Humble Pie.
Humble Pie.
Yeah.
Let's call it that.
I feel like it's a good event
call
name,
it.
don't you think?
Yeah, it is
And also
good.
it's like, you know, they're the predecessors of rock. We should remain humble. I think it's quite useful. It's quite nice to have a name.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so we're having a Humble Pie party and we're having it at the Royal Albert Hall. Do you have, if it's going to be rock legends, do you have a decor in mind? Do you have a colour palette in mind? Are we going blacks? Are we going greys? Are we going darks? Are we going gothic red? Are we doing, for fear of a bull being released, are we doing any reds?
I think we're going more like circus.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Royal Albert Hall. Big drapes falling down from the ceiling.
Like Cirque du Soleil, kind
Cirque
of.
du Soleil.
Shall we have
That's what it is.
Shall we have some entertainers?
Yeah, we could have that.
Couldn't
could.
we?
They could actually come along and do the Cirque du Soleil while we are having dinner.
Oh my God, Shirley's going to be mad
From
at me.
the
We're blowing the budget already.
Yeah.
Okay, Cirque du Soleil in
On
the
their
Albert.
wires, coming down, hanging down.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Is there
They could be serving the humble pie
Oh my
as they
God,
drop down, kind of like Mission Impossible.
Wow. Do you think Tom's free? Do you think Tom's free to bring everyone pie? Listen, I'm okay, fine. It's in. Here's the question. Is there a dress code?
No, there's no
Really?
dress code in rock.
What?
No. If you said there's a dress code to anyone going to a rock gig or anything like that, they would never go.
But then they all, I hope you don't mind me saying this, look exactly the same.
They do, yeah. But that is their dress code. But if you tell them that's a dress code,
They'll show up in pink.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Who knew?
there is nothing.
There's no dress code, but let's be honest, they're all going to wear leathers
Yeah,
and black.
well, no, because when I always think when rockers go out to do something smart, they
Yeah.
will probably wear like tuxedo that is open with a t-shirt and a pair of trainers, and kind of downplay the tuxedo.
Okay, so
Big scarf hanging out the pocket.
the scarf is a must. It's sort of pirate-esque, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like
Okay.
get your smart tuxedo, but downplay it.
And then they always have like a smoking hot wife beside them who
Yeah,
looks
of
like
course.
phenomenal.
Well, the smoking hot wife, who always, she walks a couple of foot in front of them, carrying the bottle of Jack Daniels as the orb.
You're right, the supplier. Yeah.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
this way, boys.
You know, like when the Queen opens Parliament, and she has to carry all the gear.
It's the same.
That's the wife.
Maybe we could get her we can get them some very ornamental Jack Daniels for around the
Yeah,
place, just to woo them in. This is perfect. Okay, so obviously we're having pie served from Cirque du Soleil performers from the sky.
Yeah.
Other than that,
On wires.
on wires.
coming
My
down,
apologies.
yeah. And then they go back up as soon as they've served
They
it,
disappear off.
so they don't hear the conversation.
Good for you. Keep the secret secret.
Yeah.
I love that. Question though, are we serving food other than the pie?
Yeah.
Do
But
rockers
very
eat?
small amount of food.
Okay, what do rockers eat?
Well, because rockers don't really eat, because
Mm-hmm.
usually you never know what they've been up to before they get to the dinner.
Yeah, I gather they've
So
already
they
had some
might
drinks. Mm-hmm.
not be hungry. So you don't serve that bigger food.
What would you serve?
Only like food that you pick at.
Okay, we're not doing bowls of crisps in the Albert Hall.
No, not bowls of crisps.
Right.
But you would have like hors d'oeuvres
Oh, fancy.
that you would enjoy.
Beautiful. Are they allowed?
Small,
Can they be
little
walked around, or
things.
do they have to come from the ceiling as well?
Because as they come down on the plate, as they come down, Cirque du Soleil, they will have perspex plates and they will like bring them down, and there will be little hors d'oeuvres. Hors d'oeuvres?
Hors d'oeuvres, yeah, you nailed
Hors
it.
d'oeuvres.
For a man
Yeah.
who doesn't plan a party, we are specific
Yeah,
in our
yeah,
requests.
yeah.
What kind of hors d'oeuvres are we talking?
Well, you could go to Iceland. They do some good ones.
What we spend on the venue will save on the hors
Yeah,
d'oeuvres.
we've got to save some money somewhere,
Good for
right?
you. Fine. It's
but
Iceland's
to be
finest.
honest, by the time they eat, they're not going to
They're not going to know.
notice.
Do you know what? You're dead right. We shouldn't spend any money on the rockers' food. Now, what kind of drinks? Obviously, we're doing Jamesons,
Yeah.
or we're doing what kind of whiskey are we doing?
What drinks?
Yeah.
There is
Jack
only
Daniels.
one drink.
It's just Jack Daniels.
It's Jack Daniels and Coke.
Really?
Yeah. That is the only drink. That is what rockers drink.
We're not serving anything else.
That is, you have to drink Jack Daniels to be a rocker.
Wow. And what about, do the wives get anything else, or do they have to drink Jack Daniels?
Usually the wives will go with champagne.
Thank you. I just want Shirley to feel comfortable.
No,
do you know what I mean?
but all the boys will go with Jack Daniels.
Fine. A gender divide. I love it.
Yeah.
Good.
Have you ever seen the Motley Crue books and covers? It's all based around Jack Daniels bottles.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Heaven. Okay, well, we'll have the drink and we'll have some champagne for the girls.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's nice of you.
When I was in a band, there used to be this. Do you know tequila slammers?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I know tequila. What's the slammers element?
Tequila. You don't know a slammer? No. Okay, right.
My
so
God, I just heard about the 70s. I'm learning loads.
Tequila slammer, right? Used to be a drink that bands used to drink as well, and it was tequila that you put into a small glass, and you would fill the rest of it with champagne, and then you would put a beer mat over the top of the glass.
I know what you're going to say.
And you would slam it on the table, and it would all fizz, and then you downed it in one, and it was a monumental rush, right? And back in the day when I was in Spandau, whenever we got tired, there used to be this guy that we used to take on tour with us that would have a flight case that looked like a suitcase, and he would open it up, and there would be, in the indents, there would be one bottle of Jack Daniels and a bottle of champagne and some glasses and beer mats.
You had one man who was just the slammer guy?
Yeah, slammer guy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
My God, it wouldn't get through the old security at flights now, I wouldn't imagine.
He was the slammer guy.
Wow, to be the slammer on tour. How exciting.
Spandau.
Wow.
Oh my
goodness me,
God.
how...
But listen, Spandau were a drink-based band. You know, we went for it properly.
I can really tell.
And even the drum riser that John used to sit on top of, like 6-foot drum riser.
Yeah.
Underneath that, inside it, used to be a pub.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Used to be a pub that people used to visit during the show.
Oh my God. How did you make it out alive?
I don't know.
It's a wonder, isn't it?
Know.
Well done.
Yeah, I
Fair
came to
play.
my senses.
Thank goodness you only had to play the bass.
Yeah. Did I?
I don't know.
I wonder that sometimes.
Okay, amazing. So we've got our cheap food, one drink, lots of acrobatics. Who's invited to this thing is the next question. Now, what's interesting about this podcast is usually I'll say to the guest, which is true, I can get you 3 guests, dead or alive, celebrity or otherwise. And most of the time they'll say somebody like Freddie Mercury. But you've already done it, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Who can I get you, Martin Kemp, who's met them all?
Well, I would go with, because you've said they can be dead or alive, I'm going to go with 3 friends that I've lost, that I miss.
That's lovely. Tell me about them.
Yeah. One, Steve Strange, who was like the face of the new romantic movement back in the 80s, who was my absolute best friend when I was a kid. You know, I always credit Steve for, I think 2 people made up my personality. One was my drama teacher, Anna Scher, that I was with for like 10 years. She gave me the good half of my personality, and Steve Strange gave me the bad half.
He's the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah, he was the devil on my shoulder.
Then we have to have him at the
that
party.
I grew up with. And so
what age were you when you met him?
I was, I remember queuing up to get into the Blitz nightclub that he used to run. And,
What a title.
And he, as I first met him, because he was taking my money off the door, he grabbed my hand and he tried to pull me that night. And he tried to pull me every night after that as well. But,
Good man, Steve Strange, doing what the rest of the
he
community
tried to
wanted.
wear me down.
He was probably just checking.
He was checking.
It's good to give you the option.
He was checking.
You don't want those beautiful blue eyes wasted on Shirley if there's no need, but it's grand.
He was checking, and but he was my best friend, and we lost him about 10 years ago now, and I miss him dearly. George Michael.
Oh my God, I love that your close friends are celebrities. George Michael's in, phenomenal.
George, of course he's in,
Talk to me.
because Shirley would be there and my family would be there, because everything I do, I think in my life, is for my family. It's not, I don't regard it as being for me anymore. When you work for yourself, that's kind of like when you're a kid. When I finished doing Spandau Ballet, I think Spandau Ballet was for me, because that's who I was at the time. I wanted to be a rock star.
You couldn't have pretended the pub under the drums was for your children. To be fair.
But everything else after that, I think when you reach a certain age, you realise that what you're doing it for isn't for yourself anymore. It's for someone else.
That's nice.
And so that's for your family. And I think my family have to be there. Mm-hmm. And Shirley was, obviously, she grew up with George. And I know she would give anything to see him again. Anything.
That's so nice. Not really putting paid to these rumours that Steve started about you, though. Are we 2 for 2 on gays? We are.
I love gay men.
Yeah, me too. But I'm just saying, Steve might have had the right idea.
Yeah,
okay, great.
Gay men are so. Listen, I grew up. I think I'm really lucky that I grew up in that club and in that environment and in that pop culture, that gay men and gay women were completely accepted and there was no difference between anyone. I remember the first time I walked into that club called the Blitz when I was 17, I was just telling you about. Wow. There were boys kissing boys and girls kissing girls, and anything you wanted was there. Yeah. And it was a completely open, beautiful atmosphere. And it was something that I have passed down to my kids, that they accept, and they, with the people that I bring home. It's
nice to hear that, like, as a queer person now, it's nice to hear that long ago people were having joy. That they were,
my goodness.
You hear so many sad stories, you know what I mean? It's always like, and that it's quite nice to hear that they were just having great nights and trying to pull Martin Kemp. Good for them.
No, it was absolutely a beautiful way to grow up. I think it was one of the things that affected my personality more than anything else, is to be able to accept anyone, which I love.
So you've got Steve, you've got George.
Yep.
Who's your third?
Third is going to be somebody else that I only met once, but we have spoken about already. You know what? I was going to say Steve Marriott, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say Elvis.
Oh, wow, Steve, you're bummed. Well, to be fair, we've named the party after him. It might be a bit embarrassing to show up to a humble pie party if you're Steve Marriott, right? So I get that.
But Steve Marriott could be the entertainment afterward at the VIP party.
Okay, done. We'll book him to bring him back.
Steve Marriott humble pie VIP party music.
Love that. But wait, Elvis is coming. Do you think he can be?
Elvis is coming.
Do you think it's possible to be Elvis at a party and have a chill time? Can he relax and enjoy it, or will people mob him?
No, he would. Because I think him and George would get on.
Oh, do you think?
Him and George would get on really well.
That would have been an amazing duo.
Because I think they would get on really well because, and Steve Strange to a certain point, because it is so difficult to be that famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, it's great when you're a kid, when you're young, like they had the time of their lives. But when they got older, they found it a strain on their lives. And I think the two of them go hand in hand.
I think that's gorgeous. And also they can actually talk in private because as soon as the food's there, the waiter's gone.
Back into the rafters.
No one loitering, so they can have a chat. I love that. Okay, brilliant. Is there anyone you're banning from this party? Family are in, the celebs are in, the best friends are in. Elvis is there. He's having a relaxed time. He's talking to George. You've got Steve. It's a delight. Shirley's obviously trying to get time with George, but Elvis is being a bit of a George hog. It's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Is there anyone we're banning?
Anyone we're banning? Only... I'm going to say... that's a difficult one. I'm not going to pick out any names, but I'm going to say anyone with a camera.
Fine.
No Instagram, no pictures are allowed to be taken on that night.
It's hyper vigilant, but I love it. What if we put... we could just put a rule that everyone has to leave their phones at home? Or
Yeah,
or they have
everyone
put
has
them
to
in?
leave their phones at home,
Done.
but no one is allowed. No paps are allowed outside, waiting outside.
I love that.
There's no one with a camera, so
Right.
that you enjoy the moment,
I like
because there's. You know what it's like nowadays, and
Mm-hmm.
everyone speaks about it, and it is so true. I do a lot of shows every year with this DJ thing, but a lot of people standing with the camera,
so boring.
watching it for a camera, and I just want them to put it down
Yeah,
and
have a good
sing
time.
and
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe you should make it a rule at your shows. I love
the
this.
moment, but it's not something that you want to make a rule. We have enough rules in this country at the moment.
That's true.
But I think at my party, I would say that.
Yeah, I think that's a good exception. So far, Martin, you have given me a theme of 70s rock.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we're going to go humble pie as a theme. We've got a dress code of no dress code. It's rock, baby.
Yeah.
We're doing this at the Royal Albert Hall. The guest list is Steve Strange. It's George Michael. It's Elvis Presley. But, and I think this is going to be a big question for you, you have to talk music, which we will do right after.
Right.
Okay, you're a DJ. No pressure, but people are coming to your party. This rock-themed party.
Yeah.
They're expecting big things. What are you putting on?
Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's
Obsessed.
AC/DC.
I love it. Okay,
It's
great.
AC/DC
Yes,
as they
okay.
walk through the door.
Even I knew AC/DC. This is
Yeah.
good. Okay, great. Okay, as they come in, yes.
As you're coming in, there's AC/DC.
Love.
And that's going to knock you out. I used to put AC/DC on my headphones every time I went to the gym for about 4 years. And I would listen to the same thing. It would be my gym workout.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it would have to be them.
Okay,
to be.
great.
With Angus Young jumping around everywhere on stage with your little Gibson
Are they
machine.
playing live or are we just playing it?
Yeah, playing live.
Dream scenario there.
Yeah, they're all turning up for me.
Oh my God, aren't they so good? That's great. My God, they're shaking it off. That's great. Okay,
Well, I
so
turned up for them when I was a kid.
good for you. What a cool thing to say. I was there, pals. All right, so AC/DC are up. Who's next?
AC/DC are up. We're going to have Elvis. He's going to be up.
My God, the man's only back from his death and he has to
Yeah,
play.
yeah, he's got to sing.
Fair enough. But
He's got to sing.
where are you putting him in the night, though? Because he can be a bit emote.
I would go. Let's have a look at this. I think I might do AC/DC for starters.
Yeah, good vibes.
Right? With the entrees.
Yeah.
No, that's your starters, isn't it?
With whatever we picked up at
Starters.
Iceland.
Your
Yeah.
main course is your entree.
You can't have. Oh yeah, for the music. I know what you mean. Yeah.
right,
Okay, great.
right. With your starters, I'd
Yeah.
go AC/DC.
Nice.
And then I think for the main course, I'm going to bring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw come a little bit left field on this. I'm going to go Norah Jones.
Whoa, that is so
That's not
left field.
70s rock,
No.
but I don't think we need 70s rock at this moment. We need something that is Cirque du Soleil, that
know what you
they're going up and down.
I know what you mean. That is gorgeous. Okay, great. With their God,
Come away with me.
I love it. Can you imagine they're going to be able to do those tricks and keep the plate upright? Well, anyway, that's not your problem. That's
Yeah.
theirs. And Nora's playing.
Nora's playing during that.
And then we've had mains and then?
And then we have our mains, and then we go, let's go. I think we have to finish with Steve Marriott, Humble Pie.
I think so too. But could we do Elvis before him?
Yeah,
Tough
of
to
course.
follow Elvis.
No,
Tough.
Elvis has got to be at the end.
You're right. I said it and I didn't even mean it. Okay, so
Elvis.
we'll go
If
Humble
there were-
Pie.
do you know, if there was one moment, if I built a time machine
Mm.
and I could go back to one moment in this world, it would not be the dinosaurs or the Egyptians or any great invention.
Yeah.
It would be queuing up with my ticket to go to the Hilton to see Elvis in 1972.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
So it would be that.
Oh my God. That you go again.
That would be my
That'd be your dream.
dream.
That would be your dream.
Yeah,
was
if I
like,
could
how
go,
did you-
if I could build a time machine and I could go anywhere in the world, that would be it.
back in the queue.
Yeah,
How
I would be
exciting.
in the queue, queuing up. That excitement that you have, those butterflies in your stomach that you have as you're queuing up to see that band that you have waited for so long.
Where was he in his musical journey by 72? What was he playing?
72,
What
he was.
Anybody else I wouldn't
it's
expect you
Vegas.
to know, but I do expect you
It's
to know.
Vegas.
Is it? Okay.
It's Vegas. But at the beginning
It's
of
white
Vegas, so
jumpsuit.
he's got his white jumpsuit on with his tassels, and he still looks slim. He looks great.
Yeah.
It's the best he ever looks.
Oh man,
It still looks like, he did that 68 comeback.
Yeah.
Where he still looks as good as that.
Wow. Okay. Well, listen, they're all on. This is very exciting. I'm glad we're doing proper music for the Royal Albert Hall. This is good. If you're playing a DJ set afterwards, who are you having DJ? Would you have a DJ set after?
Yeah, I would.
Would you DJ?
Yeah, I would do it.
Would you? Your own party?
Yeah, of
A
course.
busman's holiday, Martin.
No,
Fine.
but it's fun. It's so much fun.
You wouldn't let Shirley get up for the night? DJ?
No, not in a million years. Because all she would play was Alanis Morissette.
Oh my God, I'm here. I'd love to go to Shirley's DJ set.
No, but that's all she would play.
I'd be fine with that.
Right, when we're at home and if we have people over, like especially Christmas time, and you get the old karaoke machine out, and everybody wants to go on it, but Shirley gets on it and she will go on it and will not come off before she's sung like 4 Alanis Morissette songs.
I've never heard of Jagged Little Pill as like a Christmas album. I love that.
No one has.
That's amazing.
No one has, but Shirley insists on singing them.
I'm obsessed. Good for her. Excellent. Now, nitty gritty. What song are you finishing on? What's your last song of the night?
I think Elvis will sing "If I Can Dream."
Oh my God, and then he'll disappear off into the sky again.
There you go.
How gorgeous. Now, we're almost at the end, but before we finish, I have to give you a party bag as a thank you. How do you feel about getting gifts?
I'm not a big gift getter.
Are you not?
No, I love giving gifts.
Are you good at it?
Giving gifts?
Would Shirley
I'm
say
rubbish at them. I'm rubbish at it.
But you like to
Absolute
do
rubbish at it. Yeah.
Why?
Well, I just am. I bought Shirley for Mother's Day the other day.
Oh no, I'm worried about where this is going. What did you buy her?
No, I bought Shirley. I buy her some nice gifts, right? That I get right. It was our Pearl wedding anniversary, and I bought.
How many years is Pearl?
It's 30.
Yeah.
Right.
You asked me like.
Yeah, 30, and
you.
I bought her a Doris Day's set of pearls.
What?
Yeah, it was. They belonged to Doris Day.
You got actual Doris Day's
pearls?
pearls?
Yeah, that she wore all the time. And
you don't need to get the woman another gift for
no,
life. You've done it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but that doesn't work like that.
Oh.
But it worked really well.
Doris Day. I love Doris
and then
Day.
Mother's Day, I thought I'd buy her an Apple Watch, iWatch. And so I bought that for her, similar to the one I've got on.
Yeah.
Right. And I bought that for her, and I tried to put it on her wrist. And the Apple Watch was about 4 times as big as her wrist.
Okay, you bought it for a
and
much
she
larger
looked
man.
At it, and she said, "I would have rather had flowers."
Shirley, you can't fault her honesty.
Yeah.
Wow, I would have rather had flowers.
But listen, to be fair, when I looked at it on her wrist, it didn't go.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
Yeah, fair enough. That is on you. But wow, the Doris Day pearls, I'm very impressed.
Yeah.
Well, listen, there's no such thing in that gift bag, but you can look if you like.
I will have a
can't
look.
say it's
Let me
that
see what's
good.
in there.
What's in there is the question. I don't
40
think...
years of comic relief.
Can you believe it?
Well, I've got a party hat.
It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, and I have got comic relief. Is that a nose?
It's the nose, but it's a cupcake. You've nailed it. You put it on the right.
What way up is it?
You got it right.
Am I? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's cupcake nose. That one?
Oh, it suits you perfectly.
Perfect. And,
Perfect for Cirque du Soleil.
And what's all this?
This is a bucket hat, Martin.
Reversible bucket hat.
Are you? Yeah, of course you can. It's yours. Are you a bucket hat guy?
I like a bucket hat if I'm going football.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
how very English of you.
Well, I do, but old Roman likes a bucket hat.
Bucket hat.
Yeah, we
Arsenal,
went to
off
the
you
Euro finals, and so I go with Roman.
Yeah.
And so I like just dressed in my jeans and stuff.
Yeah.
Roman turns up, and I meet him in the corner where I'm meant to be meeting him. He's got his full England kit on.
Don't say full kit wanker.
He's got a full England kit on.
No.
Right? His football boots, full kit on, and he's got a rubber ring, a duck rubber ring around his waist. And I said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "It's all right. Everybody wears this." So we were invited to the VIP party before the Euro final. So we go to the door, and we get to the door, and it's the only time I've ever heard the doorman say to me and Ro, "Sorry, can't come in." No! You can't come in dressed like that.
You know what? The boy has to learn. He has to learn. But wait, what did you do?
Learned, huh?
What did you do? Did you just not get to go in?
Well, you had to take your rubber ring off.
Yeah, I mean, I do. If I may, I think that doorman had a point. That's so funny. What a thing to have to say to your adult son.
Yeah.
What a thing. Okay, so before we complete the planning session, I feel like you're not going to have many of these because you seem like it's too rock and roll.
Can I
think
take
this
this
point.
off?
Yeah, you may.
I can't
you
breathe.
May. Yeah, that's completely reasonable
Put it on him.
complaint.
Right, there you go.
Yeah, the red nose is wearing a red nose. How cute. Here's
Yeah.
my question. Would you have any rules at this party other than no phones?
Would I have anyone?
Any rules at the party?
Rules? No,
How
I
do you
don't
feel
think.
about people bringing random plus ones?
No, that's not going to happen. No.
Okay, you could get that man from the VIP section of the football to do the door, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not bringing random plus ones. That's not going to happen.
Okay, fine.
That ruins the whole vibe completely.
I agree with you. What about end times, start times? Are you strict on those?
No, you know what? It's going to be because it's the Albert Hall. I think there's a noise restriction after 11 o'clock.
We're not
So-
stopping the rock party yet. We'll pay. We'll pay the fine.
Yeah, but
Come
you're
on.
going to have to pay a fine there
We'll
to
have
keep
to
it
pay
going.
We can't.
Because it's council, isn't it?
Yeah, but we can't
It's the
tell.
council.
We can't tell Elvis
The
Presley
council
it's
going
the
to
council.
stop. The council might stop Elvis.
Oh my God. After he's put on the jumpsuit and everything, you're going to tell him it's the council? Martin Kemp, would you behave yourself? We'll pay the fine.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
pay it.
yeah,
we'll
right.
pay it. Or maybe we could let the locals listen from the... I don't know. No, we're not having randoms in. Okay, fine. Fine. God. And what about organised fun? Are you into like... I know you're obviously having the Cirque
What,
du Soleil.
games?
Yeah, none of that. None of
No,
that.
don't like games.
Karaoke. We don't want Shirley ruining the vibe.
No, we don't
Yeah.
want games. Well, karaoke's always good though.
Even with Alanis?
Yeah, karaoke, it is good.
Okay.
It is good fun.
Maybe the after party could be karaoke.
Yeah, it is really good fun.
Okay.
Karaoke.
Says a man who can sing.
Yeah, no. It's not just because you can sing or you can't sing. I think karaoke is more fun when you can't sing.
As someone who cannot sing, I disagree.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Don't you? But when you get up there, don't you want to stay up and sing more?
No, I
Don't
think,
you?
God, I wish I could sing. This is mortifying.
Ah.
I wish I hadn't tried to follow Elvis at this after party.
Yeah.
But that could be me.
I did a TV show once with we were driving. It was about a rally, and we were driving all the way through Cambodia and
Whoa.
Thailand and Vietnam at the end, and Noel Edmonds was on it as well, and so for one night's kind of entertainment, the producers got together and they said, "Oh, we've got a karaoke bar for you,
Incredible.
right, to all go to have some fun with," and we get there and it's a brothel.
No,
It's
no.
a brothel. They didn't know.
Wait, is this
right?
what you told
They-
Shirley? They
no,
didn't
Shirley
know.
was with me.
Oh,
No,
good.
Shirley was
Yeah.
with me
okay,
on this.
fine, you're covered.
And
I was wondering if this was
the
before the
producers
pearls.
didn't know, right? They were really upset about it, you know. But I thought it was hilarious.
It is
We
objectively
we
funny.
got there and it was a brothel.
Were they good singers?
Yeah. and so me and Shirley were laughing about it, but in the end, you know, we got on and we sang a few songs and it was good fun.
What, at the brothel?
Yeah, at the brothel.
Wait,
And-
it's a brothel with a karaoke bar.
Well, listen, it was a brothel, so there was all different rooms, with girls going from one room to another.
One of which you could
They weren't
sing
coming
in.
into our room, but we used the room for what it was built for.
Karaoke.
Right? Yeah. So we were in there. But Noel Edmonds got so upset.
Why?
So upset.
Why?
Oh, because he thought he might hurt his reputation that he was in the brothel.
With you and your wife singing Alanis Morissette,
Yeah.
Relax. They will have heard enough of
Yeah.
Shirley and gone, nah, they're all right. Oh, bless him. And now we've told the story on the podcast, so no one knows, Noel. Don't worry, it's
no
fine.
one knows. No one knows.
That's amazing. Okay, so no rules, except that we'll have to check with the council whether or not Elvis can go on at the assigned time.
Yeah. Maybe Elvis could meet everybody from the council the day
Wouldn't
before.
that be great of him?
Yeah.
Do you think
In his jumpsuit.
I was going to say, do you think he has day wear for the council?
No,
No,
he's
fine.
just got jumpsuits.
Well, to be honest, I think that might persuade
Yeah,
them. That's
big belt,
exciting.
jumpsuit.
I'm thrilled. Okay, here's my question: is when people wake up the next morning or next afternoon after this party, what does a successful party look like? What do you want them to think or say about the party?
I think I want them to just feel like they've had the best time ever.
Nice.
You know, when you wake up the next day and you are in that kind of post-party afterglow, when everything is good. You've got your rose-tinted glasses on about the world.
I think we have different perspectives. I think if I've had a really good time at a party, if I've gone full ham, I will wake up dry-mouthed, worried.
Yeah.
That's how I know I've had a really good night.
Oh, really? You get anxiety?
If I go, what did I say?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I get quite a bad
do
anxiety.
you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Not you.
Well, maybe I used to when I was younger, when I used to drink a lot more. But now, I don't really drink that much anymore.
Okay, you don't have to be like, what did I say to that
So
ball?
I'd never go through that.
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough.
But I do know what you're talking about, that metallic taste that you get on your tongue.
Yeah, the sort of shame sweats.
Yeah.
Where you're like, is that the booze leaving my system, or is that just everything I said to that guy who lives downstairs? Yeah, tricksy.
But I was always, when I was younger, I think I always look back, I always thought I was an anecdote vampire. Where like I would do anything to get the anecdote. I would stay up later than everybody else, so that in case that an anecdote happened that I could take with me on my journey.
And hasn't it served you well here? Listen to all the people we've heard about. And also, I would say you'd make a very good stand-up comic if that's the case.
Oh yeah.
The amount of things I go to, not because I want to,
Yeah.
just because I think something might happen. This will be bad, but something could happen.
It's kind of like early fear of missing out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But it's not. It's me. I always think, whatever I did when I was younger, I always just wanted to take home the story.
A good story. Hey, it's worked. Right. Well, listen, we need to come up with a party name for your invitation. So let's run through the broad strokes of what you've come up
go
with.
on.
So you're not into party tricks or organised fun, but you will have an entire Cirque du Soleil coming from the ceiling of the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
The theme is 70s rock, named Humble Pie.
Yeah.
With respect to Humble Pie. The dress code is not something you're willing to entertain because these men are rock gods. They'll dress how they want to, or at least how their very young wives tell them to. Good man. Okay, the venue, Royal Albert Hall. Don't mind if we do, though we are a little bit worried about the council. The food is literally anything Iceland has going because these people will have drank so much that they're not realistically going to taste it. The bar is the only drink that counts, Jack Daniels and Coke, and if the ladies want some champagne, they can have it. The guest list is Steve Strange, George Michael, Elvis Presley. What a lineup. No one's strictly barred. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
Except
random plus ones.
Except random plus ones.
If I know them, they're welcome.
They're welcome. Okay, that's
if
nice.
if I don't know them, if I've never met them, don't bring them.
You're not interested. Okay, good. Playlist is live AC/DC, followed by, in a swift, mad turn, we're going Norah Jones.
Yeah.
Followed by, we're going to go actual Humble Pie.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go Elvis Presley because no
For
one
the
can follow
VIP
him.
party.
For the VIP after party.
Yeah.
Now, after that, there will be an after party where people can karaoke.
Yeah.
But not Noel Edmonds because he gets uptight about
No,
it.
yeah, he can't come.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
Well, indeed.
he
Well, that
might
was
get,
the
he
issue.
might get upset.
Yeah.
The people are having a fun.
Yeah. And gifts-wise, you're very happy to get them. You'll put them on immediately, which I love to see.
Yeah.
But there's no pressure, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
No pressure.
The rules are leave your phone at home, please.
Yeah.
Don't listen to what George and Elvis are saying. They're trying to have a catch up about how it's difficult to be famous. Please give them some some space.
Yeah.
The only other rules are we'll have to probably woo the council with Elvis the day before. And I think that's it, isn't it?
I think that's it. I
Yeah.
think you covered it.
I think so too. Right. In
We're
that
ready
case,
to go, I think. That's it.
yeah, I think so too. With all that in mind, aside from the budget, which we'll figure out with Shirley later,
Yeah.
what are we calling this thing?
Well, the budget won't be that much apart from hiring the Albert Hall.
yeah, you
Because
reckon?
most people are dead. So you ain't
That's-
going to pay them, are you?
That's true. Yeah, they can't charge us.
Yeah.
We brought them back from the dead.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And AC/DC should do you the favour.
Yeah.
It's
Because
the least they could do.
I spent enough money going to see them when I was
Yeah,
a kid.
it's the least they could do. Okay, fine. So we've basically saved on every cost other than the Cirque du Soleil and the Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
Iceland's not going to cost what? A tenner?
Yeah, 10.
Yeah, I think that's the max.
Well, fiver. Let's say five. I think you can get. I think you can get a basket load for a fiver.
You will not beat these guys.
No, I think
love
you
it.
can get a lot for a fiver.
You know what? You're
at
right. That
Iceland.
I wasn't being thrifty enough. You're dead right. So then, what are we calling this thing? Is it Humble Pie? The food's certainly humble.
I think seeing it's the Royal Albert Hall, we should call it Hall of Rock.
I love it. I love it.
Hall of Rock.
I love it very much. That's a great invitation. I'd go to that party. Right. It's your party, Martin Kemp, and it's a Hall of Rock do. Let's do some quick fire questions before you go, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Last guest standing, respect or rethink your life choices?
You get respect.
Yeah, because you're like that lad hanging out for the stories.
Oh, you get respect, yeah. I remember once I was at a party and it was, we Spandau Ballet used to have this complete competition with Duran Duran the whole time back in the 80s. And it was the last people standing were me and John Taylor.
Amazing.
And it was the first one who was going to go home.
Really?
Yeah, I got to about 6 o'clock in the morning and John left. And all my mates come up to me going, well done, Mark. Well done.
Well done.
Well
Point
done.
made.
Yeah,
Point
we made
made. I love that. Candlelit mood or bright and lively?
Bright and lively.
Love that.
Yeah, colours and the Cirque du Soleil coming up and down.
You want all of it. Cheese board, fancy or just cheddar and crackers? What would you have?
Cheese ball fancy.
Really? But not for
Love
these
it.
guests. Good. Okay, good.
Love cheese board. Cheese board was back in the day when we were back in the band.
Yeah.
And we did one tour that was so expensive.
Yeah, because you had one guy in a suitcase with champagne and
it was
tequila
the
in
parties
it.
after. The parties after were so expensive.
Yeah.
And so we did that and we swallowed that. And then the tour after, we thought we'd cut back on the budget. So the tour manager came into rehearsals one day and he said, is there anything we can do to cut down on this budget to make it cheaper?
Please, can we get rid of the nightly slammer guy?
Yeah, can we get rid of the slammer guy? Can we get rid of the crates of Jack Daniels, the crates of champagne?
The pub under the drums?
And we worked it out. And in the end, all we could get rid of was the cheese board. and the cheese board went. But as he left the door, as he was walking through the door, I remember shouting over to him, John, I like a bit of cheese. So the cheese board stayed.
I would hate to be that tour manager. Poor John. Poor John. RSVP, necessary or just turn up?
No, necessary.
I do agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to buy too much at Iceland.
No.
If we could have spent £4, no, come on. And what about the canapes? This is funny because it says canapes posh or just an excuse for tiny food. But you quite like canapes.
I think canapes are perfect for a rock party.
Yeah.
Because people won't eat that much.
Great. Then this party brainstorming session is complete. Thank you so much, Martin Kemp. I can't wait to go to your party.
You are welcome.
There we have it. You're invited to Martin Kemp's Hall of Rock party and we're looking forward to it. Thank you for listening. Be sure to give us a follow, a 5-star rating, review, tell a friend, all that good stuff. You can find It's My Party on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts or wherever you choose to listen. And be sure to check out the official Comic Relief YouTube channel too if you'd like to watch this episode and see my party planning setup for yourself. Or you can find us on Insta and TikTok at Comic Relief. To buy Comic Relief merchandise, visit amazon.co.uk/Comic Relief, where you can also learn more about Amazon's work with Comic Relief, a registered charity. It's My Party is produced by Ollie Seymour and executive produced by Ariane Mary for Audio Always. Executive producer for Comic Relief is Sam Michelle, and for Amazon Music, it's Megan Bradshaw.